And here we go. It's the Homeboy Sports Network, y'all. What's happening? Another week of news, views with an attitude in sports. My colleague Mike Johnson broadcasting live from Ohio, the OHIO. And yours truly, Jose Gutierrez Jr., Luvva J, the Pro Fresher. We are here, and it's big time. We haven't been here for a while since football started, Mike. We haven't had a show.
Just wrapping up the summer, last-minute vacations, and not really last-minute vacations. Kids getting ready for school, man. So that's
no vacation. Yeah, that's no vacation.
No, it's definitely not a vacation getting those rascals ready for school every morning. So, but we back in it. We're getting back in the swing of things.
Well, we're excited about the school year and what comes with that, fall football. Let's get right into it. I know, are you one of these freaks who's on the Fantasy Sport League tip or what?
Yeah, well, you know what, man? Normally I used to do the daily fantasy football where we do FanDuel, DraftKings, and I got pretty. I wouldn't say fantastic. I got pretty good at it. I ain't gonna front. I got good at it. Want me a few dollars doing it, but actually, some cats that I work with, they have a league going on, so I'm going to do that this year for a season. So, yeah.
Nice. Well, that's exciting, and everybody needs a big play receiver when you're doing fantasy football. You need a great quarterback, big play receiver. People want to choose a defense. Let's get back to the receiver part. There's an awesome receiver, been putting up numbers astronomically over the last 5 to 7 years. And his name's Antonio Brown with the Oakland Raiders this year, and he's up to some antics. What's going on with him?
Yeah, man. So, first it started off with his feet. Probably heard the story. I believe it was in Italy, and he was going through some trying to get healthy. So he tried the cryo machine. I don't know if people have tried that before, but it's supposed to speed up your recovery. And he didn't have the proper wear on his feet, so burnt them up, got blisters. Now he's got nice frostbitten on his toes.
Wow.
And then also his, the helmet issue that we've heard about. I can't blame a man for crashing from wanting the right tools. But man, I don't know if he's throwing I won't necessarily call it a hissy fit, but, I'm starting to find it hard to believe if Antonio Brown really wants to play football, right? Or, what he did last year with Pittsburgh, or if it's just one of those things where he wanted out of Pittsburgh and, he pouted a little bit, or is it, is it just, he just, the doldrums of training camp. You know how cats get, they just don't like training camp. So maybe that's it.
You know what I love about you? I always love you. You have a polite demeanor about some of this stuff. And I appreciate that. And I'm going to say, but I got to say, just like if Antonio was here, because I don't like, people say stuff that they would never say when somebody's here. A lot of the sportscasters, like, he's a diva and stuff like that. Well, I'm going to say he is a diva. He's a diva for real, and he needs to be the centerpiece for wherever he is, and it surprises me slightly. The positions attitude doesn't surprise me because DBs and wide receivers are known to be the most egotistical. They're the most daring on the field.
They extra.
Yeah, they extra more. And coming from Miami to one of Central, Eastern, or Western Michigan, like you said, one of the directional Michigans, and then coming into the NFL, having this awesome career, ridiculous numbers over the last several years in Pittsburgh. He's shown this behavior before. He needs to be paid attention to in a real way. And I think that's a distraction. The helmet issue is very surprising. I say give him the 1988 Thurman Thomas helmet and face.
Thomas. One of them wearing the 1984 Steve Largent in the Mark Duper helmet.
He could do that. Yeah,
2 bars.
Matt Barr. He could go Matt Barr with the 1 bar, the kicker. Bar.
Yeah, that's
I like the Largent idea though.
I like the Largent and Mark Duper.
Yes. Give him that. If he wants to do the throw, but he wants to keep the old helmet, give him a real old helmet. I love that, Mike. That's great. See, this is a safety issue, first of all, and there should be some kind of way they can make the inside of that helmet safe, keeping his style. I don't see what the issue is. I guess I'd have to take a closer look, but this should not be keeping him off the field and from participating. That's ridiculous. That's enough to be like, get up out of here. If Oakland had any standards left from Al Davis's reign, this is just about enough to let him go.
Yeah, there's plenty of standards they got, but they also don't want to take that cap hit. That's what that standard is right there. And they ain't gonna pay this dude for nothing. So I think that's the biggest issue. I don't think if they had their druthers, I don't think they really want Antonio Brown on the squad, man. And
that sucks. Before game 1, do you get this? More cancer in Oakland.
See, what I don't understand about Oakland is they got rid of, Khalil Mack, who's obviously a game changer because they didn't want to pay him.
Franchise changer.
Yeah, I mean, Khalil Mack's a franchise. You can say what you want to say about Khalil Mack, but he's a franchise changer. And
what else can you say? What problem did he bring to the table? What can anybody say? Was he a problem in Oakland?
Nah, well, apparently it was a problem to John Gruden, so he wanted to rebuild his things his way. That's not one of the things I would have done. And they also got rid of Amari Cooper to bring in another headache. I mean, it's not like both those guys will probably model citizens to what you're trying to do. And you bring in, this is what you bring in. And what he wants, he gets. As my friend was saying, cool hand Luke. That's the way he wants it. No, that's John Gruden. That's the way he gets it. So that's what he's getting right now. So he's getting all kinds of headaches and problems. It is what it is, man. We'll see. But I would expect this all to be resolved after training camp is over. How about that? 2 weeks.
We're almost in we're basically year 2 of a 10-year plan for Gruden. So he better get this together because he's made some terrible decisions so far, obviously, with Cooper becoming a prime receiving target down there in Dallas, and Khalil Mack turned Chicago all the way around.
Yeah.
That defense was butt naked. He got them in a fur coat. They're doing their thing. I love it.
Yeah, they are doing their thing, yeah, for sure.
Antonio Brown, what's the prognosis? What do you say should happen here right now?
What I say should happen or what's going to happen?
Both.
Oh, what I think's going to happen is, we got 2 more weeks of training camp before they break. Maybe probably two more weeks of training camp before they break. I'm sure this will all be resolved, and he'll be back practicing before their first game, and everything will be fine. And he'll put up some decent-sized numbers. I don't know what the schedule looks like, but they should be all right, man. He'll put up his numbers, and he'll make Derek Carr look good. And there'll be a few spats throughout the year, and we'll call Antonio Brown a diva and a locker room cancer and all that other good shit that we're going to say. So, yeah, that's my prediction of what's going to happen.
It's not, my prediction is David Carr is not Ben Roethlisberger, and the offense is not the same, and he's not going to be targeted. I would hope he would be targeted more because he gets open and shifty. He's a great wide receiver. He's got, used to have feet. Hopefully his feet recover. But the chemistry, See, that's what I wonder, Jose. I wonder if the chemistry between John Gruden and Antonio Brown, the way he calls plays and way David Carr.
David Carr. I think these guys are very structured. I think they're very structured. I'm not quite sure how structured Antonio Brown is, or he just makes things happen because he just got a knack for the game, and we've seen it. So we'll just see how that all plays out. I mean, we've seen John Gruden just send a receiver home, and pay him to leave in Keyshawn Johnson. So we've seen that before.
Yeah, he's a boss too, and he carries himself that way. It just has to work, because if you're a boss like that and it ain't working, that's like a Rex Ryan situation. And I like Rex, but it just didn't work. It didn't work. And he's a boss, and he's liked. He's got a great attitude, but if you're going to hoard all the power, you got to know what to do with it. And so we'll see. We'll keep our tabs on this situation because people are going to be paying attention. Oakland should be in contention this year, and this could be a distraction. And David Carr, don't forget Derek Carr, David's little brother with the Raiders. Derek, there was a
this was last year, ain't it? Yeah, this was last year.
But it was a semblance of him not feeling welcome with the Raiders with Gruden arriving, too. So just to keep that alive. And is this the last year of that $100-something million contract?
It is, man. So he'll be, you know.
Oh, well, he's done. He's set for life anyway. If he doesn't want to come there, it doesn't matter. He's cool. That was a huge contract. I thought there was more years on that, but maybe not. All right. Well, let's move along. The Raider fiasco lends itself to one of our other favorite teams, the Lakers, and their fiascos. Now we've decided, Mike and I have decided, we're gonna have the Homeboy Sports Network's Laker. What do we call it?
Laker. We'll think of a name.
We'll come up with a name.
We can have our own show about the Lakers. We could drone on for hours about the glory years about the Lakers, the down years with Sedell 3 leading the way.
And winning games, Sedell in Seattle. I was there.
Yeah. we can talk about all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so we ain't gonna. We could go on for hours and hours, but
we're gonna spend 90 seconds on this one.
Yeah.
This is gonna be quick.
Yeah, the scuttlebutt around the league is there's mutual interest.
Somebody kill me now.
D12, Dwight Howard, and the Lakers to replace DeMarcus Cousins for some backline help there, and see what he can. So the Grizzlies have granted permission for the Lakers to talk to Dwight Howard. I'm sure he'll be bought
Grizzlies?
out.
He's in Memphis?
They don't expect him to play a game in Memphis, so they expect him to just be bought out. And if that's the case, you know, he can go wherever he wants. So they're trying to satisfy him that they don't want him around the Grizzlies with that young core with John Morant and that young core. So you know.
But give us the Johnson spin. You're a motivational speaker and a real office guy. You lift the office up. Tell us why this is a good idea for him to come to L.A., Mike.
Well, a couple of reasons, right? So, a few. I can always find a good reason. I know you're.
I know.
You are.
I'm familiar with
fucking
it.
Hater.
Okay.
So, a couple of reasons why it could work, or why you said okay. So this makes sense. First of all, they need backline help. They need some depth at that position in terms of, you know, JaVale McGee, as well as he played last year. People clown on JaVale McGee, but he's a good player, man.
I like him. He's still there, right?
Yeah, he's still there. He played well last year, but you don't foresee him being a starter. If he is a starter, you're gonna need some backup for that, so some backline protection. So he fits from that standpoint. From a maturity standpoint, you know, I think he's done some interviews recently, and you know, with his whole situation, what he had going on last year.
Okay.
We're gonna dive to it.
Cut Mike's mic.
Nah, I'm just gonna say he's done some interviews recently where he has, you know, he's sounded like he's matured and, you know, he's ready to know what it takes to, you know, he's got serious. It seems like he's been joking around a lot. It seems like he got serious. And the situation is different this year than it was when you know, when Kobe was there. Kobe had that, you know, killer mentality. And
they were winning games.
He was trying to win. And I think that, you know, I think with LeBron, I think his personality is a little different. You know, good, bad, or indifferent, however you want to judge LeBron or what have you, but his personality is a little different. And maybe
it's Taco Tuesday.
Maybe it's a, you know, the way he is. From all I've heard, LeBron's a very good teammate. So you say what you want to say about LeBron, but he is a very good teammate, man. So
nothing negative to say about LeBron. I have 2 words for this Dwight Howard situation. 2 words.
What?
Not interested. Okay?
Moving
I don't
on.
care what maturity you saw in these fake interviews.
You asked me how to
grabbing
spend
teammates' balls on camera, grabbing genitals of your teammates, to me is out. Out.
Yeah.
I don't find nothing amusing about that whatsoever. And,
I agree.
His off the court business being sprayed all over the TV. I mean, he's sloppy. I'm not. You live how you want. He's homosexual, gay. That's not the issue whatsoever. But he's sloppy, and he was raggedy with the Lakers the first time. And if people want to forgive him and risk the whole season with somebody like him,
here's what I think would happen. The first sign, because he's going to play for the vet minimum, so he's not going to be a huge cap hit on you, right? And look, man, the first time something goes sideways and you start acting up, they'll give him the Carmelo treatment. He'll be gone within 10 games. It's a very in this particular case, it's a low risk, high reward in this situation right here. So. If it works, it works. It ain't like he's gonna be you're rushing your whole franchise on Dwight Howard, and it wasn't like it was a few years ago. You know what I mean? Where you thought he was gonna.
Chemistry, man. You know, we talk coaching, we talk strategy, we talk franchise, we talk program. Chemistry is so critical.
I ain't had chemistry. Look, chemistry is a ninth grade high school class, as far as I'm concerned.
This guy, I just don't. There's some people you don't give certain people second chances. But you did identify some reasons why maybe he's worthy, and I have not. I don't buy a lot of. I see people's character over their performance. So,
right.
I don't know that he's sincere. He doesn't seem sincere. This is the guy who wanted Jesus as the NBA logo. And then he's over here getting women pregnant out of wedlock. Your morals, your whole game and whole story is whack to me. I just don't dig it. I just don't dig that. And I just don't, just shut up. I'm not mad that you got babies out of wedlock, but don't be coming out. He was 17, 18, so he's a kid. But he's this kid type behavior. He's an adult now. Is my point.
Yeah, you're right. So the kid type behavior has gone on for way too long. That's what I think that's what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Or
this ain't no. Give me Moses Malone right now over Dwight Howard. I'll take him. I just put him as a 12th man. Put him on the 10-day contract. I'll take Moses
Malone. Rest his soul.
Oh no.
Yeah, you didn't know Moses Malone passed?
I don't got it. This show's over. That hurts my heart. I'm sorry to the Malone family. I love Moses Malone. What a role model and a real NBA legend to me. I love him so much. I know that. That upsets me already. Now, all right. I'm going to just shut up.
All right.
Got it.
All right, but you're back to your original point. Not interested. We'll see what happens. But, we'll keep an eye on this, and we'll maybe have to do a Lakers.
A Lakers special.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, let's shift gears here. Baseball. We haven't included baseball in many of the shows, so big week. This young guy out of Cincinnati, the 4-4. Aquino, what is this, 11 home runs in 17 games? Is that what it was?
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude mashes, man. That dude mashes, paying homage to, I thought, when I first saw it, was that Eric Davis? Is that Eric Davis' son out there? What's going on? He had the same stance. He had wearing the same number 44, hitting from the right side. And he's out there. The only thing he's missing, I believe, is some high tops because he was out there mashing.
I love it. I love a young player who's hungry. I don't know where he's from. Is he? I know he has a Latin last name, but I don't know which country he's from.
Man, he can be from the Dominican. He can be from Puerto Rico. He can be from
Cuba.
Be from Cuba. One of them. He ain't from America.
One of them three. Usually one of them three. That's where they come out balling. But here's a question: how are the Reds going to screw this up?
Will end up happening for the Reds, like it always does, if they don't start winning. By the time his contract's up and it's time for that, actually they may pay him. they'll trade him for some nondescript farm pitchers that we have never heard of before, and we'll continue to lose as we have been.
Wally Jankowicz, he's a great prospect out of Des Moines. You know.
Yeah, so
I'm making up stuff.
We're gonna enjoy it while it lasts, man.
I just brought him up. He's just up here right now. 17 games. Where's he been all season? Languishing down in AAA.
Yeah, I don't know where. Yeah, I don't even know who the Reds. It used to be the Indianapolis Lookouts. That's who it used to be. I don't know who the hell it is right now. I think it may be the Toledo Mudhens, I believe. I think I said so. Whatever. That's not neither here nor there.
A tremendous week, though. He's the first player to hit that many home runs in that few games. And I can remember in the early 90s, you remember Kevin Moss?
Yeah.
Now he hit, I believe he hit 12 home runs or something in like 63 at bats. It was something interesting. He was a monster, and that was it. His career was over. I mean, we were like, this is like Babe Ruth coming back. Hank Aaron? No, he's done.
Yeah, he was
Flash
in the pan.
Yeah, so this will be interesting. Hopefully he can stick it out. Did you know, I don't know where he's from, but I just thought we talked about Dominican Republic. Big Papi came out of the hospital recently, too, so we want to send love to Big Papi. Did you see the video? Him in the hospital?
Of him in the hospital? No, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, go look at the video. The dope man's girlfriend. Ooh-wee. Wow.
Check it out. Check it out.
That's why he got shot, allegedly, because he was with the dope man's girl.
Oh, that's what it was?
Yeah, they supposed to put some police up to shoot him. And he got hit. But, they showed the dope man's girl and his girl in the hospital about to get into it. And
No.
Cállate la boca. It was crazy. Well, we're glad he's alive. You know, you got to watch who you messing with, baby. Ain't nobody or anybody got.
Anybody can get it. Yeah, man. That's unfortunate. I'm glad he's out though. You know, he knows better. Know better, do better. How about that, Big Papi?
Well, look, honey, we're gonna have to break up for a while because I don't want to die. All right, let's move along. What do we have next? What's next on the agenda right now?
Oh man, I guess the biggest news we're going to talk about was the whole Jay-Z.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Before we do, that's right. We do have the Jay-Z big news this week, and we'll get to that in a minute. I'm looking at the script here. College football.
Oh yeah.
Anything? Just a pick. Give me your top three right now. Who's going to end the season in the top three? All right.
That's a really good question. I don't want the starting season top three. I want the end of the season top three. Well, I'm going to say Clemson.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Alabama again.
Damn.
I know. And then I'll give you the top four. I think is going to be in the playoffs.
Okay, let's do the playoffs. That's good.
All right. So Clemson, Alabama. I want to say Oklahoma again.
Who's their quarterback? Who is their quarterback?
Jalen Hurts. I don't know if he won the starting job. I know they got the number one recruit coming out of Arizona, but I don't know if he's going to start or not. But I wouldn't imagine it would be too long before he starts to start.
No, that would be terrible for Jalen. I mean, that's golly.
And then
that would be terrible.
That would be terrible.
That would not be good. Twice? Some hot shot freshman quarterback come in and unseat you twice. He better be practicing. That's what he better be doing. He should have been in a camp or under Peyton's camp or something to get his passing down. For real, man. That's humiliating. That would be. That's like Tate Martell and what happened to him in Miami. He thought he was slick talking mess, talking about don't come to Ohio State. And Justin came and Tate said, I'm out of here.
Yeah, Justin came, took his job and said, see ya.
Yeah.
We will see you. So,
okay. Well,
yeah, and I think number four. Ah, boy. The homer in me wants to say Ohio State, but I really don't know what it's. You'd think I would know, but I'm not quite sure exactly what it's going to turn out to be. But so, I'll just give you the three with Clemson, Oklahoma, and
Bama.
God, I want to say Ohio State, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, the Buckeyes can either go undefeated, or they're going to lose 4 games. That's how the season goes.
What a lame list. Can we get some diversity in college football, some competition? This is the same list every year.
The same team's been good for 40 years, man. It ain't changed.
What is going on? I'm going to try to...
People who were good in the 80s are good now.
I know. Look at that. The legendary programs. I'm going to slide in. I am going to go with Bama. I love Nick Saban. I studied Nick Saban and love listening to his speeches. I like Dabo. Going at the end, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, Bama, Clemson. I'm going those 2. I'm going to switch up my other 2. All right? This is a risk.
You're going to go somebody else.
Michigan and Texas.
Michigan and Texas.
I like Ellinger at quarterback at Texas, right? Isn't he the big boy to run and throw?
Yeah, he's good, yeah.
I like him. That's a toss-up because Texas will lose a stupid game. That's their tradition in the last few years, but Mark Herman is there, and he's the head coach, right? Is it Mark Herman? So Mark Herman's in the seat, and I think he has
Tom Herman, excuse me.
Tom Herman. Tom Herman is there, and I like him. I like what he did at Ohio State. I like what he did at Houston. And he's a few players away from getting them back into the 9 to 10 win every year type.
Yeah, he's there. He's there, man.
Yeah. And they never should have fired Mac Brown in the first place. What a disgrace. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. What did Mac Brown do so bad besides win a title and win 10 games every year? And maybe 8. Maybe he got fired when he won 8 games.
But that happens, though. The
losers. The Nebraska fan base, you know me. You know I love Nebraska.
Nebraska should be good this year, man. Nebraska, they lost a lot of close games last year.
They never should have left the Big 12.
No, you're right.
Conference. You ain't coming out of that conference in Nebraska style. I mean, that'll be 1 out of every 10 years they might slide out of the Big 10. There's no way. Ohio State, Michigan, and who's the third team of power in the Big 10? I'm thinking Penn State. Come on.
Penn State, Michigan State, yeah.
That's too much.
They'll be good. All that. I will say that's one of the games I'm worried about for Ohio State. I'm not counting about is that Nebraska game, man. This will be one of the games that they'll be up for. That's a program changing game. You win that game, you can set your program up for the next 3 or 4 years, get recruits and all that. You lose that game, you back off right where you started. So that'll be a big game.
You mean Nebraska, Ohio State?
Yeah, the Buckeyes are going into Lincoln.
Maybe if we had Johnny Rogers, Mike. Maybe if we had Johnny Rogers.
No, man, they're going into man. I've seen man. What are you talking about? I just saw Ohio State get drubbed by Purdue last year. What are you talking about?
Hey. Rest in peace to our little guy up there, our young man.
Tyler Strong.
Kyler, yeah. Nobody was going to win that game against Purdue.
No, they could have.
Nobody was going to win that game.
They could have beat Alabama that night.
They would have beat anybody that day, boy. Are you crazy?
They'd have beat the 72 Dolphins that day.
They would have beat everybody. Yeah, you're right. That's for real. Nobody was going to come into Purdue and win that. That was over. I love it. That's the power. That's the power of emotion in football. I love that. And you do have. So then you can't even count that. That wasn't even a loss to me at Ohio State. I was just like, okay, I get it. I get it. You ain't nothing you could do about that, baby. Ain't nothing. No one could have done about that. And I think in that conference, like Nebraska, I think they should have stayed in the Big 12. Switch gears real quick. Because in the Big 10, you need 2 good quarterbacks and a manager. You need like 2 to 3 quarterbacks in that league.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to lose. Somebody's getting injured a lot of the time in that league. That's too much. That's bruising. You're in the black and blue conference of football, college football.
Yeah.
Like, as far as like the style of play, it's very physical from top to bottom. And their bottom teams are still rarely suck. Northwestern's not a doormat anymore. Iowa's not a doormat. You know, there's no doormat. Who's the doormat? Is there a doormat right now in the Big Ten? A doormat?
Very few. I mean, you used to be able to say Indiana.
Well, maybe Maryland.
Maryland. Even Maryland. There ain't no punch either. I mean, shit, we almost lost some. Rutgers almost lost some last year. So I would say Rutgers. There
it is. I knew there was one. See, it's of the 14 teams of the Big Ten. I was like, once you get outside that 10, I knew
Rutgers
there was one.
Rutgers is the get right game.
Oh my God! Now you in the New York metropolitan area and you ain't got competitive football there. That's
who's the other? There's one more team in there.
Nah. I think that's it. Purdue's not. Wisconsin's not. Iowa's not a doormat. Minnesota's not even a doormat, and they got the coach, rowed a boat coach. I mean, that's hard. He's out of there. He's good. He's not gonna win no Big Ten title. He's good. In Minnesota, I forget the coach's name right now.
PJ Fleck.
PJ, yes, awesome. You ain't coming out of. I mean, that'll be a one-off if you come out of the Big Ten in Minnesota with a title, but it's possible. But I don't see any doormat, and I don't think the SEC. Who's their doormat? Vandy used to be.
Yeah, Vandy, that's a tough win. You got to get out. It's a tough win to get out of Vandy. Arkansas, I would say, even though they've been known to have.
What a decline. That was a fighting program at one point. I'm talking about into the 80s, from the 50s. That was a legendary football program. What happened? Wow. Some teams shouldn't have left. Some teams should not have left this conference. They shouldn't have left. South Carolina is a shell of itself. It is not. They're not getting ramped up. They can't do it. I don't think they can get over the hill. No. I don't think they can get over the hill.
You're right. I agree.
I love them though. I love that program, and I just don't think they can do it, man. It's too much. Fight every week. All right, you shifting gear? We're shifting. I'm excited. I get excited.
It's coming up in a couple weeks.
I mean, I got to get my new roster for NCAA 14 since they didn't put the game out in 5-6 years. I got to get the new roster, see who's posting up the new rosters so I can compete. All right. Let's go to the main story of the day. Oh, I hear you stomping at the bit.
I want to get your take. I want to get your take. I think we talked pre-production. We talked about mine. I want to hear your whole thoughts on the Jay-Z partnership with the NFL and the backlash he's received, and let me a sellout now. So I want to get your thoughts.
That's a ridiculous comment. Let me say this, and it's possible. Anybody can be bought. I mean, people will, not anybody, but people will sell themselves, and I don't think that's what's happening here. But I will say this, Colin Kaepernick has to be addressed. His case has to be addressed in this whole conversation, because this is what the whole controversy is over, is Colin's stance, which was against the abuse and mistreatment of black people and people of color, and injustice being glanced at and glanced past by our society, often on the behalf of law enforcement and authorities. And so his knee, and this is just for the record, to state it, because people seem to not understand it. They think he's against the military, which is false. They think he hates police, which is false. He hates police brutality, and I join him in that too. I don't like it. I don't accept it. It's unacceptable. So basically, he's a talented quarterback. His last touchdown to interception ratio, I'll never forget, awesome for the NFL, 16-4. Only maybe three other quarterbacks can match that. That ratio, 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, that was pretty awesome in a terrible season in San Francisco. So he didn't get a chance after that because of his political stance. What's going to happen because of that, I think, is unfortunate, because the NFL is not a meritocracy now, we know. They're not looking for the very best player. They're looking for it's a business, so they're looking for who's best for the bottom line. And with a lot of our NFL fans not agreeing with Colin's knee, they're like, we don't want any part of that. We don't want to lose fans. We don't want any controversy. We don't want anything. But what's going to happen is Colin is legendary already. He's going to be in the vein of Muhammad Ali. and future history will show that he was on the right side,
right?
Of justice. And this society now claims to love Muhammad Ali. He's the greatest and blah, blah, blah. You're looking at him right now in 2019. And his name's Colin Kaepernick. So that story, I'm hurt by the fact that he's not even gotten the opportunity when the man can play ball. I want to see players ball. That's what I enjoy in sport. And we talked earlier in the pre-production that there's always been favoritism, the coach's kid, stuff like that. They've always, some players have had an advantage. I know this kid. I like how he hustles. Of course, he's a, tiniest player on the field, but I love his heart. That type of stuff happens. And that's okay. That's part of the game, too. Rudy's part of the game. Doug Flutie's part of the game, was actually awesomely talented and intelligent, but he was a tiny quarterback for any league. And so I think Colin's story, to wrap up his point, to introduce Jay-Z, it's a tragedy because it really reveals the character of the NFL in terms of competitive competition, being open for competition. And, I'm going to let you bring up the point that you brought up, because there are also reasons why he kind of shot himself in the foot.
Yeah.
There were two teams that gave him an open ear. They opened their ears up for him and his plea to play. And that was Miami and Baltimore. I'll let you handle that. So to address those two. So getting to Jay-Z. Jay-Z is a project. Okay, let me just do a little rundown real quick, because I don't appreciate people just talking, running their mouth. Jay-Z is from the projects. I have no judgment from anybody who makes it out of the projects or severe poverty, any of our Native American reservations, whatever you have to do to survive in the communities that the whole society has forgotten. I cannot say anything against you unless you are harming people actively. I won't do it. If you had to sell dope, if you had to hustle, if you had to be a capitalist outside of the legal realm of capitalism, you're putting your life in your own hands. And Jay-Z has accomplished much from a place that most people could give a damn about, which is the Marcy Projects and poverty of Brooklyn, New York, USA. So when he is in position to make acquisitions and business moves that other people wish they could be part of, I have nothing negative to say about him. He is not Colin Kaepernick's keeper. He's not his agent. He's not part of Rock Nation Sports. They don't have an official relationship. And I don't think it's a diss to Colin Kaepernick. This is an opportunity, and Jay-Z is an opportunist to the maximum. And what he's doing is part of our tradition of capitalism. He's putting himself in position to make an impact his way. He's not a quarterback. This is the way he can make an impact. And looking at Jay-Z's track record, I'll just say this. He does not spill his milk. He is not revealing all the details of his moves that you can see in public. You do not know the details of what that move did behind closed doors. So I believe in his power and savvy. And, I'm not only am I a fan, I'm trying to be objective here too, because that doesn't really play into how I feel about this. I just feel like he has shown a record of superior decision-making business-wise and in multiple ways, beyond business. So I just think this is a great opportunity, and it's supposedly leading him into ownership in the NFL, the most powerful sports league in the world, maybe besides the Premier Soccer League. Maybe they're close, but that's it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime wish. The NFL does not open up ownership opportunities. Okay? There's no group, the group of people who we're going to open it up to some new owners. That's so rare. So that's my take. That's my surface take. We can go real deep, but we're on a short show, so there.
Yeah, no, man. That was a lot to address there. And, basically, man, one of the things you touched on is that I think people are mad at Jay-Z for the wrong reasons. I think people are blowing this out of proportion. I think people are the anger is misdirected, right? So people are mad at first of all, Colin not having it. How dare how can we support the NFL and how can we do business with the NFL when they did Colin Kaepernick wrong? They wouldn't give him a job. Clearly, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Right.
He had a good season. It's questionable, right? He could.
Sure.
I mean, it's not.
Also a Super Bowl quarterback, though.
Super Bowl quarterback, but it ain't like he's Aaron Rodgers out there. So there's
no, hell no. But I mean, still, hell no.
Yeah, but he also ain't Mike Glennon or Nathan Peterman either. So there's that.
That's right. Exactly.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. But what we do know is the NFL is not a meritocracy, man. I think you know, like you mentioned before, like sports we like to believe is a meritocracy because that's what we want to believe. But that's not necessarily the case, man. You go down to college, you play college ball. You run down, I know some friends who played college ball and, for whatever reason, so they knew players that outshined other ones. And for whatever reason, coach said, hey, I want to get this guy some playing time because this is my recruit and this is my window into this place. So, so I want to bring other recruits from this area in. So I want to get this guy in, even though he may not necessarily be the best. So,
wow.
Can
you say Chris Sims and Major Applewhite?
Exactly. So it happens, right? And then then you got to say, okay, so what are we upset about? We're upset that Colin still does not have a job. So what was it? What was the ultimate goal? Was it to bring awareness to police brutality, and was it to maybe have the NFL use some of its power to help affect change? Okay, all right, that's fine. But then you say, all right, so are we mad at the constituents of the NFL, the other side of the people who don't necessarily look like you or have the same political views as you, that they weren't down for Colin Nealon? And that's their right. I can't get mad at that. It's like they thought it was a different way, and so we were like, whoa, so I understand it, right?
Yeah.
But what I don't think is that, and Colin didn't do himself any favors, like you mentioned earlier on, man. He had an opportunity to play with the Baltimore, and he called the beloved, the most beloved
Raven
in franchise history,
right.
Steven from Django Unchained. Man, you can't do that. Or
I think his girlfriend said that though, right?
Yeah, who cares, man? Look, man, she messing up the checks, and then he had an opportunity to go play with Miami, and he's wearing the Fidel Castro shirt. And come on, man, that's not the play, homeboy. So he didn't do himself any favors, right? And so
knowing Miami is little Cuba. Yeah.
So as talented as he may be, and we're mad that Colin didn't get a job. He inflicted some of this on himself, and not only that, he wasn't good for look, man. He at the end of the day, he wasn't good for the bottom line, and the bottom line is winning. And and I can't get mad at the NFL for that. That's their bottom line. I mean, last time I checked, if you really want to make change, boycotting the NFL isn't going to stop people from, our brothers and sisters being shot in the street. If you really want to affect change, sign up some people to vote. Go to, the local government. That's how you're going to affect change, man. And locally, not the NFL team. They ain't got nothing to do with people getting shot.
Nothing. And
not now thing. So that's not gonna. We just mad at we're mad at some. We just want to be mad at somebody. We ain't mad at the right body, and that's all I'm saying. And as far as as far as Jay-Z concerned, man, I think he now he's got a seat at the table to really affect some change, right? So now he's gonna be able to bring artists in, and next time maybe there's a Super Bowl, maybe there's gonna be some initiatives around the Super Bowl and around people of color in that community when the Super Bowl comes to that particular city. So now because Jay's got a Jay's got a seat at the table. You know, there's some diversity at the table, and he can say, you know, maybe we should be doing this, or maybe we should be doing that. And the things that he's done, you know, the reform project that he's some of the money from the partnership is going to the reform project that has to do with criminal justice reform.
Right.
And you know, those are things that are actually being done in the league right now. So you know, and that was all started by you know, Meek Mill, Jay-Z,
yeah,
and believe it or not, who also sits on that board is Robert Kraft. So you can say what you want to say about Robert Kraft. You can say what you want to say about some of the owners being racist, and you know, Robert Kraft is a bit controversial because he's friends with Donald Trump. And I don't know. Do you know the story why they're friends?
No.
So this is not to back Donald Trump whatsoever, or to get political in it. But the reason why those two are friends is Donald Trump, after his wife died, Donald Trump called that man every single day. So as much as you want to disagree with his politics or all this, I don't know how you you could say whatever you want to say. You could say,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That's very touching. You know,
you can talk out the side of your neck, man. But if my wife passed and you called me out, and you called me every day, I'm like, man, I can't just ignore everything this man did for me. You know what I mean? As much as I hate his politics and some of the wild shit he says, he still was a friend to me at the end of the day. And so, and in one of my most trying times. So I say all that to say, man, sometimes we get bogged down to being, we have to pass these purity tests for whatever political side that you're on, and these litmus tests. But sometimes, man, you're gonna have to work with people that you don't necessarily agree with to get shit done. And
well, that's a fact. That's a fact.
I mean, I think you go down not really getting political moves. You go down some of the things that, you take people like Lincoln. You know what I mean? Some of the disparaging remarks he made about black people, but yet he was part and partial help, free the slaves. Or you take a shit about LBJ and was frequently caught saying the N-word on camera and on tape, but he helped usher in the Civil Rights Act. So
he pushed it through, actually.
Yeah. So sometimes you may not agree with people, but you have to work with people to get things done that you want to get accomplished. So is it I thought about this today, man. Is it our woke friends out there? Yeah, you can be woke, but some people ain't woke. Some people are, man, I'm up, man. Man, I'm up. I get it. I understand. And sometimes you got to work with people you necessarily don't want to work with to affect change, man. To get to the common good. So
some people are the Walking Dead. There's a lot of zombies out here who's the Walking Dead, and they just want to be on the newest issue. And, it's like you need to do an examination like the one you just provided. And that's important because you don't need to agree with everything everybody does. You don't know. I mean, Abraham Lincoln didn't have to do a damn thing. That white man didn't have to do anything. John Brown didn't have to do anything. So when you like hold people's feet to the fire like you perfect. Like you've never done nothing. Just remember, at some point, this will come back to you. You have to confront it again. So when you bring up Donald Trump, that is touching and very sweet that he would do that to make sure somebody's okay.
It still doesn't absolve him for all the other shit that he's done.
No, that's not the point. That's not the point. But I want to give
context into,
No, that's it's not the point to be like, now he's perfect. He ain't perfect, and neither is anybody on this call or on this show or listening. Nobody's perfect. And so the thing is, what's your character like? And so that shows some character from Donald Trump, and Robert Kraft, who had his own legal situation happen recently. You know, I'm being a judge.
All I'm saying is like, so yeah, obviously these are imperfect vessels, right?
Right.
And I'm not. So all I'm saying is that, you know, Robert. Hey, look, man, these guys leverage their access to help get things done. So Jay-Z leveraged his access to help out Meek Mill, right? And Meek Mill said, yo, this is shit. This is the type of shit that's been happening, man.
Right.
Like, y'all need to, and you guys are in position. You know what I mean?
And I would encourage people to watch the show on Amazon, Free Meek. Was it Amazon or Netflix? I think it's on Amazon.
I'm not quite sure.
It's on one of the two. It's streaming now, and it got a mediocre rating. But there's some details in the show. It's 4 or 5 parts, I believe. There's some details that are critical to understanding this case, and just a boy who's a minor who stays on probation through his adulthood so far. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and that's part of Jay-Z's work. Also telling the story of the beautiful young man, Khalif Browder, peace be upon him. And, Jay-Z's philanthropic efforts. So these also don't change anything about his NFL situation, but it's like you're trying to allude to, like you did allude to, look at an entirety of the person, of the picture. You're not going to agree with everything. You're going to find something to nitpick at. I'm not really nitpicky. I try to examine. I know, if you mentioned LBJ, Lyndon Baines Johnson, the president, he was raised in Texas when white boys ran Texas.
Yeah.
And so there was no need or social requirement to be polite to others. And how do you think his daddy was? How do you think his granddaddy was? Now, there might have been some of those rare people during that time who were nice and gentlemen and for real, like kind people. But I don't count on that. I don't expect that. But I know those people existed. So I think that, go ahead.
So my point is this, Jose. So I would say this, man. So what is the end goal, man? Like, so are we
be in the room. Be in the room.
So are we? So that's my point. Is so the end goal is if it's like, oh, we can't work with these people because they're oppressive and they're part of the problem, right?
Right.
But these same people are helping people, the individuals, black individuals and their family become, very with generational wealth. Not all, but some, right?
You know what?
So do you not play football anymore because you can't work in this society? Do I not do you not go to work anymore because there's some racist shit that happens at your work? Or do you take the money that you get from an organization like the NFL to take back to your neighborhood so you can affect change, and then you can get a seat at the table? Or do you just get on Twitter and on Facebook and complain about shit and don't really do anything, or don't do anything? All you do is complain. You know what I mean? So you got to find out. You got to find out what you're going to do, man. You're going to just be mad to be mad, or you be mad mad enough to affect change and really do something. And besides,
people, let me add this, because there's people who are like, you don't work with them at all. And it's like, you're not really, you're the kind of person who ain't really ready for war. Okay?
Right.
You cannot talk about how tough you are with the NFL will devour you in any kind of competition. It's like you're super revolutionary, but you just be a quick victim, straight up. You'll get swallowed up.
Yeah.
And so when there's an opportunity, you don't have to join. I don't think Jay-Z is on his knees in those rooms.
No,
I don't think so.
What did he use? He used his leverage, Jose. He had leverage. What did he say? You need me. I don't need you.
Right.
I don't have to do this.
I don't have to do nothing.
I've been doing this shit without y'all, but now, you need me. I can use my leverage, and I can help out a little more, and I can even get some of what I want out of it too. Maybe ownership. So you need me. I don't need you.
Yeah, and a great power move, and as a little wrap up on this piece here, having some balance and perspective. The NFL, what you mentioned about, the black players and players of color and people who are down with this conscientious positionship. You know how many millionaires are on the 53-man roster? Okay.
Yeah.
You could put each team, 30 teams. 32 teams now? 30 teams. 32 teams.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, Jim Brown, Kareem, Muhammad Ali, Bill Russell, these guys did this in the 1960s. They had a black athletes economic union. Some men who got together and said, we want to see some change. We're coming together. Who's doing that now?
Well, I will say this. Now, see, from that Neeland and Colin Kaepernick that did spark change, man. So now there's the Players Coalition 2.0, right? And those guys have gotten the NFL to donate almost $100 million to their causes. And they're getting real laws changed, Jose. They're getting shit done in Philadelphia and in Pennsylvania. These Malcolm Jenkins. Yeah, these guys are getting real shit done, man. So you can say what you want to say about Colin not having a job, but it's sad that he doesn't have one. I agree. But by that same token, these guys are out here. They got the NFL to give 100. He's throwing money at the problem, whatever. But they're getting shit done, man.
You know what, Mike? There's millions of different ways to get to the number 7.
Man, who you telling, man?
There's millions of different ways to get to the number 7.
Right.
And that, I think that's something to take where people want it done. Do it this way, or it's not legitimate. Do it this way, or you're a sellout. We're looking for results. And this is how you can tell who's looking for results and who's just looking to be eventually complaining. I'll never be satisfied. There's some people who are insatiable. They're insatiable. You cannot do nothing to satisfy them. And so I don't want a blanket statement to anybody, but when you're seeing progress like this, I'm glad Jay-Z's in the room. Yes, he's a hustler. And if anybody knows a real hustler, you never knock the hustle. You never knock it. Who helped that man get to where he's at? And he has some partners, but you outgrew them. And they got to do their own thing. These are grown people. So feeling sorry and whining for Damon Dash and Kareem, Kareem's with him now. He brought Kareem back and helped Kareem after he got out of prison. So people need to back up. You're very entitled and privileged to be thinking you can judge somebody like Jay-Z who came from nothing, who's one of the people you would typically see on the news, who got caught, robbing somebody, shooting somebody, got shot, or is already in prison or a funeral home. And he dodged all that. And so, people try to, question his legitimacy, but I don't care. He survived. He's thriving. And I'm glad he's in the room. I don't know what he's doing in the room, but I'm glad he's in the room. I'm glad he's in the room.
I'll say this, too. So those people that, we just say, hey, you can, people can still be questioned. People can still be taken to task. People can still be, and that's still good. All that is still good. You can still hold people accountable and make them to account, right? And hold them to account. So, I would be a fool to say that, he just gets carte blanche because of all he may do some things wrong, and no one should get just carte blanche because they did this or they did that, or there's more. Still hold these people to account, but also realize that you're right. There's a million ways to the number 7. There's more than one way to skin a cat. So whatever phrase that you want to use, all that is true, man. So now I'm curious to see what's going to happen with this whole thing, and I ain't mad at it either. So, and I ain't gonna stop me from watching the NFL. I can tell you that right now. So as sad as I am that Colin doesn't have a job, it's not gonna stop me from watching the NFL. So just because I know the game, man. Shit, he was bad for business, so that's why he does not have a job. Not saying it's right, wrong, or it's not right. But again.
But it speaks volumes of the character of the league and the personnel in there. And I think what would be awesome is if he went and backed up Tom Brady and got tutelaged into taking that job and Tom steps away. That would be nice. But That's a fantasy. So one last note on the show before we get out of here on this hour-long special. Tyronn Lue just hired as the Clippers assistant coach. So the blood and vengeance that's coming for the Lakers is getting thicker and thicker, man. Lakers.
Hope LeBron steps over Tyronn Lue
like Allen did, like AI did.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. Oh my God, I can't wait for the season to start. But anyway, I just hope it's not a disappointing one like it was last year. So,
well, I'm not impressed with the lineup so far, but let's see. You know, I hope it depends how you play ball. So the Lakers, it's late breaking news that's breaking in the last half hour. Tyronn Lue signed with the L.A. Clippers as an assistant coach. He was supposed to be the Lakers coach. Okay.
Supposedly.
Yeah. Well, that was it was.
Said we got Frank. We got Frank Vogel.
Yeah. Real.
Frank.
Yeah. Hey, you were all up behind Frank for a while.
Yeah,
it's not like he was bad though. He's like Jim Clemens with the Bulls. You know,
get the hell out.
You Tim lead to anybody in the parade. Come on.
Jim Clemens. Oh man, I met him at the airport one time. From the Columbus native, Lyndon McKinley High, home of Buster Douglas.
Oh, I'm sorry. This Ohio story. Here we go.
Yeah. So Jim Clemens, Buster Douglas. Yeah, I've actually met both of those guys before. So there you go.
As we do, another great show for you, and you. Sports news and views with an attitude. This is the Homeboy Sports Network. Make sure that you log on YouTube, subscribe to the page, and we'll be developing our own page for the Homeboy Sports Network separate from mine because it's on my Luvva J page. But we're going to be putting together the Homeboy Sports Network page. So we appreciate everybody listening in, tuning in, subscribing, being part of the conversation. You keep us motivated, and we're excited to do the show. So once again, my man Mike, any final words?
Oh, man. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
All right, we'll see you next time. Homeboy Sports Network, sports news and views with an attitude. Peace.
Peace.
Put him on his back and let him know what's happening.